Today, we're taking a look back at the month of July. Hello geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am glad you are here today because it's time to wrap up the month of July. This is where I take a look back at how training has gone. We look at races and medals. We talk about what's going to be coming up next on my race calendar and on the channel. And I drop the monthly Spotify playlists. If this is your first time here, make sure that you have clicked that subscribe button. But we're going to get things started like we always do by taking a quick look back at the month in training. Welcome to July, and it is hot as frick and humid, but that's the way we like it because it makes fall feel so much better. So starting off the month, I am under physical therapist orders to spend the next few days not running. I need a little bit more time to recover from an aggravated disc, and hopefully that's going to help my hamstring issues. But after that, we're going to ease back into running. I've got about 6 weeks or so until my next trail race, which, if you remember from the last couple of years that I've run it, got some major hills that I got to deal with. So link up here in case you missed last year where I ran a PB on that course, and we'll see if maybe I can beat that time this year. Who knows? But we've still got plenty of time to train. We're still going to be doing some upper body challenges. I'm working on a 30-day challenge video. So that's the plan for this week. We're just taking things easy, doing some walking, and then ease back into running at the end of the week. Probably no long run this week, or at least not what I would typically do for a long run. Probably just gonna do a little bit of an easy run, see how long I last before irritating anything. So that's the plan. Hopefully we're back to our regular training schedule next week, so I'll catch up with you then. All right, we're back for another week. Honestly, last week went about as well as I could expect. A lot of walking and then easing back into an easy run. And even at a slow pace, felt like I was flying after a week and a half of not running. So I am not 100% yet, but my hamstring feels the best that it has felt in probably years. I do have some other little niggles throughout the body, so I'm trying to keep an eye on those. But the plan for this week is to get back onto my training plan, but just pull the pace back. So today we got some easy runs. I've got a couple of speed sessions where we're going to be running some intervals, and then I believe an hour and a half long run for the weekend. There was one day where I'm just super busy from morning till night, and thankfully my coach has scheduled me an extra rest day, so that is going to get stuck in there. So that's the plan for this week. I'm going to have a full video on my entire week of training back from injury, so hopefully that should be up by the time this is up. But I'm just looking forward to kind of getting back into the swing of things, trying to get back on a consistent training plan, and of course getting ready for my race in August. It is humid, it is hot, so trying to get out just a little bit earlier this week, trying to beat some of that. We'll see how we do. I will catch up with you after the long run. Back again for another week. I have a video up here if you would like to kind of dig into what happened with last week's training. Not my prettiest week, but I got it done. So still working on coming back from injury, still working on building up a little bit of speed and strength going into my race in August. And it looks like this week's going to be more of the same. We have 3 easy runs, 2 speed sessions, and a long run. So nothing too out of the ordinary. We're just going to see what happens with my lower back that's causing problems. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it into physical therapy this week, so we'll have to see. But other than that, we are just kind of keeping on with what we're doing, trying to watch nutrition, definitely watching hydration because it is mad humid out here. But that's the plan for this week. Nothing too odd, and I'll catch up with you after the long run. All right, back for another week. I managed to survive a almost just under 2-hour long run. Felt pretty good. So we're going into this week with a little more of what we did last week, some easy runs. We're gonna have 1 speed session where we are going to do some half-mile repeats with a little bit of recovery with some strides at the end. And then we're going to do another speed day that's going to be a 5K time trial, which I haven't done in
forever. So that'll be an adventure. We're gonna see how we do this week because hamstring issues are flaring up again, which I am super not happy about. But I wanna get to the bottom of this. I'm still able to run. It's just not super comfy, but I can deal with discomfort. That's not a huge deal. But the target for this week is to just make sure that I am building up a little bit more speed, and hopefully that'll translate into better hills come August. So that's the plan for now. We are dealing with super muggy weather. For instance, right now it is 78 degrees, 80% humidity. So we are fighting our way through. It's good conditioning though. Should be ready for the fall once that happens. Trying to make some plans for the fall, which is not easy right now. It's busy. Thankfully the running is keeping my mind at bay and just kind of helping keep things under control. So that's it for this week. I will catch up with you after I believe what is going to be a 2-hour long run this weekend. I'll see you then. And just like that, we're at the end of the month, or at least a few days left in the month. Last week, training went well. Surprised myself with some of the paces I was able to hit, even in all this heat and humidity, which is not fun, but I'm doing it. And my PT and coach gave me the go-ahead to do a 10-miler for my long run, which felt amazing. So with just a few days left in the month, we're gonna take a look at what's ahead for the week, which is just more of the same, making sure that I can keep up with some fairly decent paces in the hopes that that won't slow me down too much when I'm trying to do hills. And I've just accepted the fact that no matter how ready I think I am for those hills in this next race, I'm probably not going to be ready for them. I don't know why they always catch me by surprise, but we're just going to be doing some more of the same kind of training and a 2-hour long run to cap off the week. So that's where we are as far as July training. We're gonna take it back inside to indoors me to wrap it up.
And there you go, just a quick glimpse into how training went for the month of July. As I made it fairly obvious, it was very hot, very humid, and therefore very difficult to get runs in outside, especially with a lot going on, especially with my kids, my own schedule. It's been interesting, but I've been trying to keep my head above water as far as training goes, making sure that I'm ready for the Scorch and Squirrel in August. And honestly, I'm fairly happy with how things are going, considering that I had to take some time off in order to deal with injury. I'm waiting to see how this is going to pay off once I get into a race scenario, but I do feel like I'm making progress with my physical therapy, and that's been a long time in the works. So I'm very happy with how that's going on. Obviously, things are not going to slow up for me anytime really soon, but I am going to try to stay on track as far as training goes to make sure that I am half marathon ready at any given time. My coaches have been really good about working with me on that and making sure that I am good to go at a moment's notice, especially since I don't really know what the future is going to hold as far as my race calendar goes. So let's go ahead and skip to our next topic, which is the race calendar. Obviously, as I've mentioned numerous times in this video, I have the Scorch and Squirrel coming up on August 17th. That is one that I run every single year, and it's one that I am never fully prepared for. I always just forget just how bad those hills are, but I'm doing my best to not injure myself and potentially maintain the progress that I've been making every year on that same race. I've been coming in just a little bit earlier every single time. So we're going to see how we do, especially since I have no control over the race day conditions as far as weather goes, how I'm going to be feeling. So we're just going to deal with what we've got. As far as other half marathons coming up, there were some possibilities on the calendar. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to shake down, so I will be making periodic race announcements as they start to come up. And also, if you would like to help me afford to get to some of these races, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description. If you would like to contribute to that, all of that money goes directly into races or things for this channel. With that being said, there were not any races or anything that went on over the course of July. There was just way too much going on. And honestly, there's not a lot of races to choose from around here, as it is just unsafe to run in some of these weather conditions we've been having. So we have been in a holding pattern. We've been just focusing on training and getting ready for what's going to come up next. And the last thing that I want to talk about today is, of course, what's going to be coming up on the channel. I am going to be sticking with the regular series, such as monthly updates, and of course the Run the USA series, which our next state is going to be South Carolina. If you have race suggestions for South Carolina, make sure you drop those in the comments below. But in case you have missed the announcement that I'll have a link to up here and down in the description, I do have some big things that are coming up personally for the next few months, and that's going to cut into my filming and editing time for the channel. There's not a whole lot of the informative videos or reviews that I'm going to have a lot of time to script and edit like I would normally do, but I do plan on staying with those bigger series, Monthly Update and Run the USA, and I will try to fit in some smaller, shorter type scripts when I can fit them in, depending on when my breaks shake down and things like that. But for the most part, you are going to see a weekly training video from me so that you can keep up with how I'm training and talk about what exactly I am training for. And also, as usual, I'm going to be traveling to Dragon Con at the end of August, first part of September, so I will have a video out showcasing my adventures at con, including the Geek Girls Run that we do every year, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So that basically gets you caught up with everything that I have been doing over the course of July. It's not a lot. It's mostly just been staying the course and making sure that I'm ready for August races. And as we always do on the channel, I'm going to have a link down in the description to this month's Spotify playlist. If you are looking for new music to run with, to work out with, I put together about 10 or so songs, usually centered around a theme, and you can listen to that. So if you're looking for something new to listen to, then you have that. There's also going to be a link to all of the monthly playlists that are put together in one gigantic playlist. So if you're needing a lot of music, then you've got plenty to choose from there. I will also have a link to Welcome to the Geek Den. This is a running playlist that is put together by you, the viewers. Just drop any suggestions that you have down in the comments below if you see something that you would like me to add. But all of the songs on that list have been suggested by other members of the Geek Den, just like you. That wraps things up for the month of July. I am so thankful that you are here. I cannot wait to see what August is going to bring and see what's going to be happening as I try to find my footing with the new direction of the channel. But with that being said, I just want to remind you to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Just click the button down below. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it keeps you up to date with the running content that I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here for this month. I am so glad you're here. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I'll see you later.